Horsemen! I am your host, Gilvin Hamu. Joining me through a Discord voice chat, Carlos Ortiz, the man behind the Roadcaster. Alongside Carlos is our good friend, the Welshman, Jack Hopkins. And I'm not giving him a nickname, Nick Romeo.
Whoa, I missed 1 week, and I don't get a nickname. Damn.
Yeah, your nickname privileges are revoked.
Yeah, they're gone. Out the door.
All right. I gotta stick with you guys for a little bit in order for that. I see what's up. All right.
Well, welcome to the Four Horsemen. Before I get started, please give us a follow on Instagram. The number 4, the word Horsemen of Fantasy on Instagram. Please also give us a sub on YouTube. Let's just get right out of the gate before we head to any other topic. Guys, straight out of the Woj Twitter, the Brooklyn Nets are trading James Harden and Paul Millsap to the Philadelphia 76ers for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and multiple draft picks, including 2 first-rounders.
Huge.
Absolutely
Huge
massive.
news.
Absolutely massive.
I've had Simmons on my fantasy team for I want to say 10 weeks.
Why?
Just for this moment. Just for this moment.
I've been waiting.
I am the most ecstatic person right now because I get a superstar and I'm getting Luka Doncic in a trade in the next 2 days.
Oh, let's go. Let's
Dude,
go.
My team is gonna finesse this season.
This is
I'm so ready.
crazy. Like we saw this coming, but it's still crazy that it actually happened to me. Wow. And this happened. Let me add it's currently 1:30. So the trade just happened 5 minutes ago, or it was just announced 5 minutes ago. Can you
wish you
believe
could have
that?
got our pure reaction.
Ah, dang. However,
I just in one of my leagues. Sorry, someone's just accepted a trade for De'Aaron Fox and Harden, but Montrezl Harrell, Dennis Schroeder, and Porzingis. Where is my commissioner, and when can I get him to veto this trade? Sorry. Anyway.
that's a lot. That's so much. That's a good trade. That's like an interesting trade. I don't say it's a good one. It's an interesting one. However, it's given that despite it's the trade deadline, I feel like we have more pressing matters outside of the game of basketball, which is what we're dedicating this whole episode to. It's Super Bowl week. The Super Bowl is this Sunday. And, we're excited. Obviously, we're ready to see Joe Shiesty, Joe Cool, Joe Burrow, and the Bengals take on Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I just think it's great. We got some 2 really good offenses, right? Like, can we agree on this, guys?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a snoozer like, the Patriots and the Rams, 13-3 or what the hell that score was. Like, I'm expecting offense in this game, so I'm very stoked. I'm excited for this one like I was excited for last year, but hopefully it doesn't become a letdown.
Yeah. No, I definitely think this is going to be a fun one.
This is going to be good for, all DFS options as well, I think. Like, you could have a really good parlay on this and have a lot of fun with, different kind of prop bets and stuff. I think this could be a great game, not just as a spectacle for the casual fans that are watching, but a great game for the diehard fans. Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp have, including the playoffs, over 4,000 yards together. So it's like these guys are just kind of absolutely go off, I think, this week, and it's just going to be so fun to watch.
I think the shoe-in for that, before we just delve into our main topic, but the shoe-in for that game is Odell Beckham scoring a touchdown. I think that's going to happen above anything else.
I think it has to happen. Just the magnitude of
it seems like a
Yeah, I was waiting for it to happen last week and it never came through.
I think that was the only game he hasn't scored in the playoffs. Granted, that was the only other game they played, I think, or
no, they got the Cardinals one. The Cardinals in the divisional.
Well, they beat the Cardinals.
He scored in that game. Yeah.
He scored the first touchdown, I think, and then I think he scored against Tampa.
He played well towards the end of the year. I have a quick question now. I want to see which one of you guys can get the closest here. How many games do you think Harden, Durant, and Kyrie played together?
I think it's in
16.
I think 16, right? Yeah.
Eight games.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess me then.
Well, have fun editing whoever's doing that one.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We outdated Jack. Let's go.
I'm sorry. I know one of you guys read that. There's no way you just said 16 up the bat.
No, I heard.
It was just, right, you
It's
just
definitely
read that.
I've been listening to sports radio all week.
Oh,
Yeah.
golly. That's funny. No, that's funny. Okay, so back to the Super Bowl. We mentioned a lot of money on the line, especially for parlays and things of that nature. But I want to talk about some DFS options, especially for that game. We don't really. I don't feel like, given the lay of the land for a Super Bowl, and nobody really gives a lot of attention to DFS in that area. But this is a good opportunity to win some money on a big game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from your traditionals, you want to put in a good amount of budget on Cooper Kupp or Joe Burrow or Joe Mixon. I think there's plenty of sleepers we can look into that would probably not take a huge chunk out of what you want. So I'm gonna get started here, and I'm gonna put a good sleeper out, and I think Tyler Boyd is a great wide receiver too to add to your lineup.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like this. I was looking at some of the stats beforehand, and Tyler Boyd to score first is plus 1800. I mean that could quite easily happen. I feel like, like a anytime scorer, he's plus 275. So I think like that's not a bad one. That's actually one of the guys I was looking at as well when I was looking at kind of like when you go away from the chalk, like Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, maybe it's like Tyler Boyd is way down the list for whatever reason. Players like Kendall Blanton are ahead of him for first-time scorer. Like they're
Higby's not
1600.
active for this game.
Right, Higby's gonna be out. That's why Blanton's odds got so much boosted.
The Higby's still 40 plus 1400, so
That's
they
interesting.
should probably,
I think the thing with
they should probably take him out.
I think the thing with Boyd's budget is you want to T Higgins on paper usually seems like the better choice, but you don't want somebody that's as highly valued. And you never know which one's going to have the shine as the wide receiver 2 or even the wide receiver 1, because sometimes they could completely overshadow Jamar Chase. So I think Tyler Boyd's a great choice. It's not the safest, but it's usually, if you want to really go crazy, I think that's the best one you can go with.
Yeah.
But that moves on to what you guys think. If you guys have any other sleepers, I know you guys have plenty on probably Rams or Cincinnati. So let's go to Jack. Jack, what are your thoughts?
So I really like looking at like just touchdown scorers. And another guy who I think is a big option is Van Jefferson. Like this guy has been in the offense the entire season. I know everyone loves Odell Beckham, and he's come in and he's kind of taken that Robert Woods and Van Jefferson role a little bit. And fair play, I did not think he was going to be as good as what he has been. But Van Jefferson, to score first or to score last is plus 1800. To score any time is plus 245. So it's like that's a kind of bet that I'd be looking to like maybe put on. I'm just a spoiler alert. If any of my compliance people are listening in the NCAA, I'm not betting on the game. I'm just talking about it. But yeah, I think Van Jefferson, Matt Stafford trusts him. He scored touchdowns already this season. And yeah, I think Van Jefferson is a big sleeper to have a good game, because you're going to have the majority of the defense focusing on Cooper Kupp, the best wide receiver in the league this season, and probably the biggest threat in this game. So, I could see Van Jefferson getting open, beating his man in one-on-one coverage and being wide open over the top, and Matt Stafford throwing a bomb to him. I could see that happening at some point during the game.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think when Odell officially came to the Rams, we all thought he was going to take Van Jefferson's role, and Van Jefferson was going to step into Robert Woods' role, where the opposite kind of happened, where Van Jefferson kind of just stayed Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a credit to the offense, but I like that Van Jefferson pick. Well, let's go to Nick. Nick, do you have any good sleepers?
Well, actually, I was looking at Van Jefferson, also the fact that Eli Apple's on the other side of the ball. So I'm not excited. Like, that matchup, Van Jefferson and even Cooper Kupp and OBJ are going to eat. But switching it up last second here, I'm going to go I would look at T. Higgins I know he's really not too much of a sleeper at, was it plus 1,200 to be the first one on FanDuel? It looks like here, but even though T. Higgins has been good all regular season, I really haven't heard anything from him this postseason. I don't know if that's for me, but I've been looking mostly at Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon to be the focal point of that offense. T. Higgins really hasn't been doing anything, so I think T. Higgins has a good shot to be the first one to get it, the first touchdown.
He had over 100 yards against the Chiefs.
He did. The thing, though, I will agree with Mick on this point because, like I said before, you never know which one of them is going to show out. It's never like a guarantee. It's not always the safest play. The thing with Higgins is I'm concerned as to which kind of T. Higgins we're going to get. Is he going to get a good amount of coverage?
It can go either way. Yeah.
Are we going to get Week 16 T. Higgins where he had 12 catches for 194 yards and 2 touchdowns and literally knocked me out of, I think, 2 of my matchups in the semifinals of the fantasy playoffs? So I
almost lost to somebody in our league that had T. Higgins, and I don't remember who it was.
But the thing is, he could potentially do that because Jalen Ramsey is going to probably be on Jamar Chase. So,
Jack stole my thunder. That's what I was gonna open up with.
I'm sorry. Okay, Carlos, why don't you just go?
No, it's all good because it shows how simpatico we guys are. You know, I'm listening to you guys kind of go back and forth a little bit on Higgins, and to Jack's point / my point, I almost believe that makes T. Higgins a must play. If Jalen Ramsey is going to shadow Jamar Chase like he's requested, then I think you have to start T. Higgins. Yeah, he's been kind of, a bit up and down in the regular season, but let's look at the last 2 games. He's had 19 targets. He's hit on 13 of them for almost 200 yards. So that gives him about 36 DraftKings points, and that's all without scoring a touchdown. So if you look at his points per game average, that's about 16 points. That's roughly around the projection of Odell Beckham. And he's $800 less to get Higgins as opposed to Beckham, who's going to be a popular name. So there's a good bit of value there. I don't know if it's necessarily a sleeper, but I really like T. Higgins as a DFS option this Sunday.
Yeah, Higgins is going to be fun.
And people forget that he was Burrow's wide receiver 1 last year. Like I know Jamar Chase has come in and done what he has this season, but. T. Higgins is no slouch. He was drafted in the 2nd round, and he has been outstanding. Like 2nd round of the real draft, and he's only in his 2nd year, so I like T. Higgins a lot.
And up until Jamar Chase, he was the wide receiver 1, so
exactly.
I think that's also important to know. And I think one more thing, we're giving a lot of love for T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, but we got to show some extra love to C.J. Uzomah because he might just do something crazy. He did get hurt. I don't know if anybody else saw this video of him at the Super Bowl Media Day where he came in with a knee brace and then just ripped it off and just started celebrating.
Did not.
It was
awesome.
No, it was great. So he seems to be good to go. I would look at him as somebody who, like Jack said, somebody that wants to score touchdowns. That would be a good primary point of focus right there is C.J. Uzomah on that end.
And he can have big games. He had 2 games this year where he had 2 touchdowns. So he if he has a game like that, it could be huge in the Super Bowl.
I'm very bearish on him.
Game.
Yeah,
he had a really good game against the Raiders. I think it was the wild card game. I remember him. I think he had the first touchdown.
And the Ravens in the regular season, I remember that. He only had 3 catches, but it was for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
right, those chunk yardage. That's what tight ends are for.
I would be very hesitant to throw some coin on him or to put him on the lineup because you guys make good points, but the problem is they're facing the Rams defense and they allow about 11 points a game. So I think if anybody's going to score for the Bengals side, you're going to be looking at Burrow and the wide receivers, and then obviously Mixon if it's a goal line situation. I find it hard to believe that coming off of an injury, even if it wasn't as big as it looked like. And for him to produce in a limited fashion, I would probably look elsewhere and spend more money on, you know what? Call me crazy. I might actually put some coin on Evan McPherson. I think that would be more value.
Time money on Evan McPherson. Come on,
bro.
He's
been absolutely money, but I would definitely slot him over Uzomah because McPherson's not afraid of the moment. He said to Brandon Allen, he's just like, well, looks like we're going into the AFC Championship game. It would not surprise me if it gets to a last-minute situation where he's like, well, looks like we're winning a Super Bowl. I would put some coin on McPherson over Uzama for sure.
It's a good one. Yeah, no, that's a good one. I think also you got to just take into account, who else would you put at your tight end?
Kendall Blanton's probably the only option.
Yeah, like Blanton, but we don't know how well he'll produce come game time.
I don't think Stafford's going to rely on him.
I don't think so either.
No. I think if you're going to look at somebody else on the Rams side, I would look at Cam Akers. I think Cam Akers might have a decent showing, specifically on the ground. Like you're gonna have Mixon who kind of gets a good amount of receiving yards, but Cam Akers might punch in a touchdown, and on top of that, some good chunk yardage plays, and that doesn't even discredit the fact that Sony Michel could do just the same.
Yeah.
So I would keep an eye on specifically that Rams backfield. They're gonna be decent RB2 type value for your DFS lineups heading into the weekend. But moving on to more Super Bowl talk, I want to just kind of not really gloss over, but kind of just get over the idea of what we think will happen. There's obviously a lot of factors we think. I've heard a lot of talk that a good betting favorite is Aaron Donald as your Super Bowl MVP, which I'm not buying it. I would love to see it happen because Aaron Donald is a man amongst the boys. And I want to see him win that Super Bowl MVP. But I have a weird and strange feeling that if the Rams were to win the Super Bowl, it would go to a wide receiver, namely Cooper Kupp. But that's just me. If Aaron Donald does win it, I would probably throw him up there with a lot of the all-time greats if he isn't up there already. So, that said, who do you guys have as your Super Bowl MVP? Let's start with Carlos on this one.
So I've also heard the talk with Aaron Donald. It's not a bad pick. You can catch it at plus 1,600 at some places if you're looking for betting it. Cooper Kupp would be my second choice for Super Bowl MVP because I think just this is the type of game where I think the Rams will score often. And if it comes into a pass funnel option where it's just the Breakfast Club boys getting back together and, putting on a show, and Kupp ends up with, 150 to 200 yards, and a pair of touchdowns, then boom, he'd be a clear favorite to win the MVP. I don't think Stafford will get it if there is going to be a quarterback to get it, just because the amount of weapons that are on Los Angeles. You're not necessarily asking for Stafford to, quote unquote, win the game, because he throws a lot of out routes and a lot of slants where these receivers will go ahead and just take off and turn a 15-yard pass into a 50-yard gain. So that's why I would have Aaron Donald at 3, Cooper Kupp at 2. I have Joe Burrow as my Super Bowl MVP pick at plus 225. I just think if the Bengals pull this off and they win, regardless of what the score and the circumstances are going to be, Burrow's your MVP. There's nobody else on the team that has the notoriety, that has just the cachet, especially on the defense. The defense is a packed defense. You're not going to give it to anybody over there. And unless Joe Mixon breaks out for 200 yards, your chances are you won the game because Burrow made some plays. So I like Burrow as an MVP pick. I might even like Burrow as an MVP pick if the Bengals lose. Let's just say if it was a late field goal for the Rams to beat the Bengals, 33-30 or something like that, and Burrow just has a phenomenal game and the Rams kind of have an all over. I still think that's kind of a safe pick to have Joe Burrow be a Super Bowl MVP. It doesn't happen often where the player from the losing team will win it, but I just have a sneaky suspicion that the Bengals will just somehow either be in game and lose at the very end, or they'll find a way to win, and Burrow gets the MVP. So I'm good with Joe Burrow. I'm not 100%. I'm a little afraid because the game could go either way, but give me Joe Burrow for an MVP pick.
I want to mention one thing. Jack sent us a very funny Simpsons-related picture. Jack, if you want to delve into that before you give us your Super Bowl MVP.
So actually, it's funny because I did some research on it as well. So there's this meme that NFL Memes tweeted that I'm sure many people have seen, and it's bet the house on the Bengals. That's what they said, and it's the Bengals winning 34-31 against LA. Now, the meme is fake. I think that's like one thing that like people need to realize. Like, and I didn't realize when I said it to people. I just saw it. I just thought it was funny. In that actual episode, the Cincinnati Bengals didn't even play the LA Rams or any LA team for that matter, because they weren't even the Rams back then. They played the Miami Dolphins and they lost. So I don't know why that like meme circulated and stuff. It was quite funny. This isn't one of the few things the Simpsons did not predict, because it seems that they predicted so many things. I'm going to get into a couple of things here. There's been 55 Super Bowls. 31 of those, a quarterback has won the MVP. So you're talking about 60%. So I think it would be safe to put it on Stafford or Burrow if someone was doing like a parlay where like they have a bunch of different bets and stuff. I would, and you want a bigger money one, I would add in like maybe one of those, because like Stafford or Burrow as a Super Bowl MVP. I think I'm going to talk about a guy who's already won a Super Bowl MVP in this matchup, and that's Von Miller. I think I was torn between him and Jalen Ramsey, because I just love the defensive side of this. I could see Von Miller and I could see Aaron Donald both getting to Joe Burrow a lot. Here's a really fun stat that I found. This is the third Super Bowl in history where the offense has been sacked 50 times and the defense has entered with 50 sacks. So it just shows that the offensive line for the Bengals, which a lot of people have talked about all week, is not very good, and the defensive line for the Rams is absolutely outstanding. Von Miller is not going to be getting as much coverage, I think, as Aaron Donald will. Another fun fact: Aaron Donald has got more All-Pro or Pro Bowl appearances than the entire Bengals team.
Data.
I just thought that was insane. Like it just shows like how much he's been around. And God, if anyone deserves it, it's Aaron Donald. But I think I'm going to go a bit contrary here and think like Von Miller. He's been around the block. He knows exactly how to handle a situation like this. We saw him do it with the Broncos in 2015 when he got Super Bowl MVP that game and shut Cam down. And I just think they have a huge shot at him getting MVP. Right now, I think it's plus 4,500, so it's pretty good odds for it. Also, another stat, which while I'm talking, I want to give as well, is if Burrow does win the Super Bowl, he'll be the first player in history to win the Heisman, a national championship, a Super Bowl, and be the #1 overall pick. Quite a cool stat.
That's really good. I was so lost in the data, Jack.
Lieutenant Data strikes again.
Yeah, well, I just think like these things that like helps put it into perspective, what Burrow has done is like it's incredible, especially given the fact that like last year, like people didn't even know if he was going to play this year. Remember pre-draft, and like we weren't talking about Joe Burrow as like as a good fantasy quarterback. We were like, I hope that he's just okay and that he's he handles coming back from the ACL okay, because he didn't just tear his ACL, he tore his PCL, MCL, like it was like all the stuff in there, and he's just been incredible. So it'd be a great story if he does win it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think would be massive. Nick, what about your pick?
Yeah, again, I'm right with Jack within this one. I'm agreeing that Stafford's going to do it. The Rams don't have any real running. Sony Michel and Henderson, they're okay backs to do it. Michel's been there with the Patriots, but I feel like if they're going to win this game, Stafford's got to have the game of his career. And that's just against a Bengals team, a defense that's hungry and that's faced running backs this season, like Josh Jacobs, who's been decent this year, Derrick Henry, who's coming off an injury, but they stopped him last against the Kansas City Chiefs, against Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's also facing injuries. So it's not like they've had too many challenges besides Derrick Henry, but I feel like they're going to stop the running game, and they're going to have to focus on Matthew Stafford passing the ball to his receivers, Cooper Kupp, OBJ, even Van Jefferson getting in there. And it's just going to be Stafford leading the way. And it's like, again, I think it's going to be a close game. Joe Burrow's going to keep him close. Joe Mixon's going to have a good couple of runs. But at the end, I want the Bengals to win. But I feel like this is going to be Stafford's game. Like Stafford, OBJ, all these guys are finally going to get their Aaron Donald. They're all going to get their rings. And I think either side, I'd be thrilled whoever gets it. But it'd be a great story for the Bengals to win it all this year.
couldn't agree more with you, Nick, especially because I'd be content with whoever wins. The Bengals need a win for Harambe.
Oh yeah. This has been in the making since 2016 out here.
Right. And no, so I do think for Matthew Stafford's validation as a great quarterback, he needs this ring. I think he's deserved it for quite some time now. So I wouldn't put it past the Rams winning. I did follow that meme Jack sent, and I put $6 on that score. And if that score happens to be right, I win like $500 or something. But
that's great.
So it will come back next week, and we'll figure out if I won or lost. And it will either be really I'll either come really ecstatic or just supremely upset. And last thing before we cut to break, I do want to mention, we did mention our Super Bowl MVPs. It kind of gives away who we think will win, but let's give a good score prediction here. Obviously, I put my money on something that I might be a little bit too over my head. But I have the Rams over the Bengals 30 to 27.
So you have the Bengals covering the +4 spread.
They're covering. I definitely think they're going to cover. This won't. I think what actually will happen is Bengals come back, not a similar fashion that they did against Kansas City, but more so the scoring will be low from both teams early on, and I think once we kick into third quarter, we're going to kick in high gear. So yeah.
I'm going to go with my one. I think it's going to be a little bit more low scoring than that, but I want the Bengals to win really badly, so I'm going to actually say that the Bengals win the game outright. I'm going to say the score is going to be 27-21 for the Bengals.
Ooh, you got them winning. All right.
I feel like no one has even had them go. What's cool is that the two 4 seeds from the NFC and AFC here are both playing against each other, and I think that just kind of shows that like everyone's putting so much like thought into like, oh, I hope this team gets the 1 seed and everything, and look what the Packers did with the 1 seed. You know, it's like
laid an egg.
They really struggled after not playing for a week, so it's it's kind of like. I don't know. I think it just shows that like playing all the way through, it's like these players, like the best teams, are built for this, and obviously the Bengals and the Rams are built for this season.
Yeah, I think so as well. All right. Well, Carlos.
So unlike Lieutenant Data, which I tremendously respect his opinions and everything he throws on, I'm going the other way on you, Gil, too. I don't think the Bengals are gonna cover. I know I put Burrow as my MVP pick. I do like him better than anybody else in other options, rather. But I'm kind of hedging my bet here. I think the Rams and the Bengals will be tight in the first half. I think it's going to be a blowout in the second half. Give me, and it goes down to the defense, because I think both offenses are capable. But there's no way Cincinnati's defense is going to be able to hang against Stafford, Kupp, Beckham, Van Jefferson, Cam Akers, Sony Michel, you name it. Well, they don't even need Higbee. I think he was an afterthought in the offense anyway. I am good with the Rams 35 and the Bengals 20.
Wow.
Okay.
Cash it in. Carlos is speaking out here.
Golly. All right. Romeo, close us out.
I'm in between what I'm trying to go with here with my prediction, because again, I want the Bengals to win more than I would the Rams, but I'm looking at the side of the ball. I'm looking at Cincinnati's offensive line and just Aaron Donald and Von Miller on the other side, just getting to Joe Burrow all game. They were against, decent pressure against these other teams, but they don't have, Donald and Von Miller attacking Joe Burrow. I think it could be more than 9 sacks than the Raiders had against them in the first round. So I have to give it to the Rams, and I think it's going to be a 2-touchdown game as well. I think the Rams are going to win 28-14. That's my prediction.
Oh, so he got Cincinnati even lower than I do.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
I think it's going to be tough for them.
I want it to be entertaining. Don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I like the Bengals story. I really like the story. I would not be mad if the Bengals pulled it off. I just logically, I don't see it.
Like, you see
there's
all
too
the
much
pieces.
for the Rams to have in order for the Bengals to overcome.
There's too many people that are like Jack, that are falling in love with the Bengals the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And the Bengals are a nice team. Listen, I've seen lower seeded teams win championships. Nick and I's Giants, they won at a lower seed. They were a wild card team when they won to 2 Super Bowls. So
they beat the undefeated Patriots going into that.
Yeah,
season.
18-1 is a thing now because of the Giants.
The Giants unwritten from that whole talk of.
So it can be done. A 4-seed win in a championship, that's not crazy. It's just the Rams are really loaded on both sides of the ball, whereas the Bengals, it's just, I think their offense is elite. It's just the defense. I can't see it holding up. So again, I'd like the Bengals. I'd be okay either way if they won or lost, whatever. I can't see the Rams choking this game away.
We also said there was no shot of the Bengals beating the Chiefs, and look what happened.
Yeah,
there. The Bengals came back and
nobody predicted that kind of collapse from Patrick Mahomes.
They somehow beat the Chiefs. Like, no one did.
Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes looked so bad that second half.
I think that the difference between that though, Nick, is that like the Chiefs don't have a defense, whereas like the Rams have both. Now, I think Carlos is right. I am falling in love with the glory, like here, the story that it could be in years to come, like how just like no one ever thought it would happen. This would be the Bengals' first Super Bowl. They've only made 2, and the last one was in 1989. So it's like it's been a long time coming for the franchise. I bet when they drafted Joe Burrow 2 years ago, they didn't think it would happen this quickly.
They had 2 wins. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like, I mean, if you told the team back then, oh, don't worry, you're going to go to the Super Bowl in 2022, they would have been like, yeah, okay, yeah. Why are you smoking? So, and the Rams have only won, and that was in 2000. They've been to 4. So I think regardless of what happens, there's going to be great stories.
Yes.
Of, like Stafford coming out of Detroit if he wins it, or Joe Burrow being the first to do what, the stat I said earlier, and just the Bengals stories. That's what I love about this Super Bowl. In years past, it's been like, oh, Brady's going to win another one, great, I think this has got stories written all over it, and that's what I love. Also, another thing I love, the combined age between the 2 coaches is 74 years old. McVay's 36.
Yeah,
Zach Taylor's 38.
Zach Taylor's 37, 38. Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, so
it's the youngest head coaching matchup in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, it's the youngest head coaching matchup. I just love that for the coaches as well. Everything.
It's very much a turning of a new leaf. I would agree.
Love it.
I absolutely do love it. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back with a fun Super Bowl trivia, as we like to close out every episode with a game. So stay tuned. We will be right back, or as Carlos would like to say, stay tight. All right, welcome back.
Oh, yeah!
I'm waiting for it every week.
He only does this when we're not in the studio because he knows he can't yell in the building.
I can do it in my own home.
In the comfort of his own room.
Anyway,
oh my god.
And I'm always pumped for the games. I don't care what it is. I don't care if I lose, win. I'm just excited for these games, man. Let's do it.
Wait, Gil, I have a quick. Do you mind if I just break some news quickly? Josh Richardson being traded from the Celtics to the Spurs.
The Spurs, yeah, I did.
Derek White.
For Derek White. I like that.
Talk about it.
That's a good trade. I actually do like that trade for the Celtics.
And the Nets are also shopping their 2 first-round picks right now. So in the next hour, you could see those 2 picks going out for another player.
Stay tuned for a good hour of the trade deadline. Oh my god, man, this is gonna be this. I've missed a good NBA trade deadline. We didn't get any of this in the last couple of seasons.
Who's left on the Kings and the Pacers that are any good that the Nets can try to fleece?
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox, but they're keeping him obviously since they traded away Halliburton like the idiots that they are. But
which I know we're on a football episode, but good lord, I know that they moved 2 pieces from that deal already. Nicholas Alexander. Well, I can't think of his last name. It starts with a W, but he won.
Alexander Walker.
Thank you. He wound up going to the Jazz, and I think Tomas went to the Spurs, or I'm not 100. I know he went somewhere else also from the Blazers. So I know that there was deals compounded on yesterday's trade, but what the hell are the Kings doing?
They think they're like a fringe playing team.
No idea.
That's why they're taking that approach, and I'm not a fan of it. I feel like they were never really into it to begin with. I do want to mention, like how we mentioned the Harden trade earlier in the episode. They play each other March 10th, the Nets and the 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna get booed louder in their home arenas, Simmons or Harden?
It's in Philadelphia.
Oh, so if Simmons is. And this is a thing that I hope it's not true. You know, I think it would be a big insult if this would come to pass. But if Ben Simmons miraculously got mentally healthy and played in that game and he's like good to go, I think what a shot to people who really do struggle with mental health and to kind of use that as a crutch to force his way out of Philadelphia. And listen, Simmons and Harden, they both got what they wanted. You know, I think they both look weak. Simmons, I don't know the full story behind there, whether it's true or not. You can't necessarily say. But Harden, I think, comes off very weak. If they play each other, I think Simmons will get booed a little bit in Philadelphia, but not to the extent that Harden will get absolutely eviscerated in Brooklyn.
I actually think the polar opposite, Carlos. The thing is, Brooklyn has no basketball fans. The Nets have no loyal fans.
What about Joe Leo? What about Joe Leo?
I'll give Joe Leo the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I know Joe Leo is like kicking it right now.
No, that man's probably seething if he heard this. But all love to Leo. He's a loyal fan. Credit to him. The Nets don't have enough fans to fill out the Barclays Center night by night by night. Unlike the Philadelphia 76ers who could do that just as easily on any good game.
March 10th. Nets 76ers face off.
Were you not paying attention?
Thanks for showing up, man.
I was not. I was looking at the
How are you doing, Nick?
That's my beat.
It's a good show. You should listen to it.
Yo, no, the Nets have no fans. Okay, so we're past that now.
Hold on, one thing, Gil. One thing I will counter though. How can you boo Simmons if his antics netted you Harden? If that whole situation didn't transpire, you wouldn't have been able to make the deal today.
Then how can you boo Harden if your antics got you Ben Simmons?
Yeah, but I don't think Brooklyn Nets fans are clamoring for Ben Simmons. I think they're more pissed that James Harden wanted out. I think that would be the difference. Well, the 76ers are happier. They got the best player in that deal. But
absolutely.
But Brooklyn still has championship aspirations, and Harden quit on the team. Back-to-back consecutive seasons, he quit on the Rockets, and then he quit on the Nets. I think it makes him look so weak. Harden's going to get completely destroyed. Simmons will get booed because people didn't like the way he went out like a punk, but Harden flat out, he did it already. This is the second time doing it, and to a good team. So I cannot wait to see the excuse if the 76ers do not win this championship. I am actively rooting against the Sixers. I did not care about them before because I'm a Bulls fan. They weren't on my radar. Now I can't wait for the Sixers to lose.
Let me get started by saying if there's any team I want to make it out of the East right now, it's the Chicago Bulls.
Let's go.
Very clear. I love me some DeMar DeRozan. I love me some Zach LaVine. I love me some Lonzo Ball.
The Caruso.
The GOAT. Alex
GOAT.
Caruso.
That's
My
right.
point with Harden and Simmons here is the thing with James Harden was the Nets mortgaged their entire future for him. Simmons basically missed the entirety of the season, and I'm not going to shortchange whatever. I'm not going to go and discredit or invalidate anything he's going through. But everything he's going through stems from one night. And not even one night. It's been 3 games, and he couldn't make anything. He did it. That one fatal moment was passing out of an easy dunk on Trae Young's 5'11" ass and to hand it off to Matisse Thybulle. It all went downhill since. He was, as much as we like to give Ben Simmons the benefit of the doubt, he's directly responsible for the Sixers being booted out by the Hawks. There's no room for... And not only did it look bad on his end, it looked bad on Philly's end. Because Philly decided to give the asking price of God and then some to trade him away. And nobody bid on it. He was this close to being a Sacramento King. So all of Philly's struggles now come from the fact that they don't have any presence in the backcourt defensively, and they could have if Ben Simmons got his act together. So Harden doesn't faze the Nets fans as much because they not only did they get a good supporting cast now when you get Seth Curry, but you got an all NBA level defender when he's available.
That can't shoot. That doesn't have a jump shot yet.
But they make up for it by acquiring guys like Seth Curry and other role players in that trade. You get a bona fide big man in Andre Drummond. Now you don't have to rely on scrubs like LaMarcus Aldridge to be a defensive juggernaut. No. Now you actually this is a much more balanced team because now it's not as top heavy. You have a bench. You have somebody as an anchor in the front. They look better. The Nets look better than this.
I think. Listen, it's a good trade. We can go back and forth on this, and we really should go back to football soon. But
talk about the Super Bowl, shall we?
But yeah, the Super Bowl is very fun. I still do think. I think that. Here. Yeah, no. I love football. I can't believe I'm this excited about basketball. When you guys know, when do I ever get excited about basketball? I just think the Nets kind of recoup some of the losses that they they had in the Harden trade. With that said, Gil, I think you want to talk Super Bowl ? Question mark,
more like exclamation point. Let's get back to the Super Bowl. Carlos, play the music. Super Bowl weekend is upon us, my fellow horsemen. What better way than some Super Bowl themed trivia? I will shoot at you some multiple choice.
Whoa! Don't shoot at me. I don't feel like ducking any shots today.
So I have some multiple choice questions here. I do have a free response one in the event of a tiebreaker. But let's get started. At the heart of this podcast, we were fantasy sports. So why not get started with this question? Who had a higher fantasy scoring night in the Super Bowl? Was it Nick Foles in 2018? Damian Williams, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs at the time, 2020? Or running back for the New England Patriots, James White, 2017?
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
Oh, you gotta bleep that out, sorry. This is question one?
This is question one, buddy.
Alright. I can't wait for the next ones. This is, wow.
And you're just looking at fantasy output, right?
Yeah, just a fantasy night. Who just had a better fantasy night in that Super Bowl that they played in? Nick Foles, Damian Williams, James White.
I'm going with the QB. I'm going to go with Nick Foles. He has more. He has more ways of scoring fantasy points. Like an average day for a QB might be 18 to 20 fantasy points. Like an average day, that would be a really good day for a running back. So I'm gonna. I mean, obviously everyone remembers the Philly. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you just call it the Philly?
He did. That was the soundbite, Carlos.
Yeah, we need to cut that.
Wait, isn't that what it's called?
No, Philly special.
But when Nick Foles called to play in the huddle, he called it Philly.
There we go. Exactly.
All right, yeah, it's not that bad.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm going in this order. I'm going James White, Nick Foles, and then Damian Williams.
Yeah, I'm right there with Nick because although I do agree that Folk had a great game and it probably netted some fantasy points, James White, didn't he break the receptions for Super Bowl in that game? So
receptions, got the touchdowns,
and he had like stupid yardage. So yeah,
he did whatever he had to do that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with James White because that was a huge game.
I've erased it out of my memory because it was against the Falcons. So.
So I'll go James White, I'll go Folk, and I'll go Damian Williams 3.
Touchdowns. If I could change my answer to James White, I would do it right now. But
all right, so who are the options, right? It was
wow,
Foles,
hack.
All right. Nick Foles, 32.5 fantasy points. Damian Williams, 27.3 fantasy points.
Ooh.
James White, 40.9.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
James White had 6 carries for 29 yards, 14 catches, 110 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Dude, James White was a beast.
Yeah, he was nuts in the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's
incredible
the,
game.
he was the reason that the Patriots came back that game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
He
No,
did
absolutely.
everything. He did
Had the game of
everything.
his life, and they still gave the MVP to Tom Brady.
That's a highway robbery to me. I hope this is not in one of your trivia questions later, but like James White not getting the MVP was an absolute absurdity to me. And I remember the fact when Tom Brady did not win an MVP a couple years before that, where Deion Branch got the Super Bowl MVP as a wide receiver. That game, I would have probably been okay with Brady and getting the MVP nod over Branch. How does James White not get it in that? So I just think the voting it's a popularity contest at this point. It's absurd.
Mm-hmm. So the next question is a total 180 from where we were at. Who performed in the Super Bowl halftime show in 2012?
2012? Oh, God, I have no idea.
What?
10 years ago. That was 10 years ago. Can you believe that?
Do you have any options for us? Or
Yeah, no. I'm gonna tell you.
Alright.
Oh, thank you, God.
No. This,
way.
I told you.
There's
Yeah,
no
no.
way
I'm giving you options here. All right. This ain't gonna be some. All right. Was it A, Beyonce, B, Madonna, or C, the Black Eyed Peas?
I'm gonna go Black Eyed Peas. I think they were relevant
I'll
then.
go Black Eyed Peas.
It's probably Madonna or Black Eyed Peas because, and this is gonna sound political / racial. The Black Eyed Peas are like a safe, they're a safe black entertaining act for white people. Let's just call it for what it is. You know, there's, and Madonna's just Madonna. You can play her every single decade. I'll go Black Eyed Peas because I don't think they've done much sense.
I need to make up the point that I just lost. So if you're both going Black Eyed Peas, I'm going Madonna.
Hedging your bet. That's good.
Well, he did it right. It was Madonna.
Oh, good job.
Oh.
Let's go.
When was Black Eyed Peas? Was they like the
That was the year before.
Oh, that's so
Beyonce
close.
was
All
the-
right.
Yeah.
Beyonce was 2013. Black Eyed Peas was 2011. Madonna was 2012.
Wow.
I better not see Madonna. I don't want to see Madonna again. She's like 80. I'm good.
She's a prune.
No, I have a big problem with Madonna because my undergrad degree, I had to write a 25-page paper on Madonna, so I never want to hear from her again.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, I don't blame you then. That's awful. God damn. Anyway,
Too much on one person.
Torrey
Right.
Craig to the Suns for Jalen Smith. For anyone
Corey
interested.
Craig to the Suns. That's the breaking news. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
Not as breaking.
On to the next question.
Where was Super Bowl 36? Was it in
Right.
A, the New Orleans Superdome, B, the Georgia Dome, Atlanta, Georgia, C, AT&T Stadium, Dallas, Texas?
Wow, man.
Superdome.
Yeah, that was my first thought as well.
Paul should know this. I mean, he's the
I have
youngest
no
of all of
idea.
us. He should know this one.
That's rude.
Where was that? What was that, like 2003? 19 years ago?
Yeah, somewhere around that. Yeah.
I honestly I have no idea.
My first
the only answer I
thought was the
remember is
Superdome, so that's where I'm gonna go.
So
Yeah.
Carlos Superdome, Jack, you said Superdome.
Yeah.
Nick,
What were the other two options again?
the Georgia Dome, Atlanta, Georgia, or AT&T Stadium, Dallas, Texas.
Oh god. Just give me Super
Because
Bowl.
was-
At least
that-
we'll
that
all
was
be in
the-
same spot.
That was the game. That was the Rams and Patriots, right? Like, I don't even remember Jerry's World being a thing back then.
Well,
So that would narrow it down to Georgia and
was
New
the
Orleans,
Superdome.
right?
Nice.
Oh, it
It was
was.
the
Oh,
Superdome.
nice.
was
Oh.
the Superdome. Right now, we're sitting at 2 apiece because Jack hedged his bet.
Yeah.
All right.
Nick enjoys his game, yeah, he just copies what other people say. So.
No. I had James White all the way. That's the first one. Alright.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Which quarterback threw for the most interceptions in a single Super Bowl?
Oh my god. Jameis Winston.
No. I wish, man. I would love to see Jameis Winston in the Super Bowl.
Wait, when did Winston get into the Super Bowl?
Jameis Winston in the Super
No,
Bowl.
he wasn't in the Super Bowl.
I was like, wait. I'm like, did I miss a year?
I need it. I need
Yeah.
Jameis Winston in the Super Bowl. All right, your options. Rich Gannon, 2003.
Who?
That's the answer. That's the answer right there. Dexter Jackson won the Super Bowl of MVP for that game. I'm sorry. You don't even got to put the rest of them out.
I gotta say the other two. Okay, well, first off, Donovan McNabb, 2005. John Elway, 1988.
Oh, that Elway game was not great.
We're going back.
Yeah, that Elway game wasn't great. But Dexter, but I'm telling you guys, I'm giving everybody a free point right now. If I'm wrong, then I'm getting off. Dexter Jackson was a Super Bowl MVP for the Tampa Bay Bucks, and that game was a blowout. It was like 40-something to like 12. Jackson had 5 interceptions. 5.
No, you're talking about Rich Gannon, not Jackson.
No, Dexter Jackson was the guy who caught the interceptions for Tampa Bay. So Rich Gannon threw them. That's why I think the answer is Rich Gannon.
He caught the interception. So this isn't which wait.
Do we think that Elway threw 6 interceptions? I don't think so.
This is the thing. I've heard of Donovan McNabb and I've heard of John Elway. So I'm gonna go with whichever one that isn't, whoever one isn't those guys, because I feel like those guys are great.
Well, McNabb's not great wasn't great in the Super Bowl, but Rich Gannon was a solid quarterback. He was an MVP before, but he threw 5 picks in that game. So I don't think Elway and McNabb did it.
I'm doing it.
Everybody. Okay, what did you pick, Nick?
You know what Nick's doing.
Give me McNabb.
All right. John Elway, 3 picks. Donovan McNabb, 3 picks. Rich Gannon, 5.
Oh my god.
Come on, man. I does this. It was all to the same guy.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. I need to look this up.
Okay.
I remember that game. That game sucked. I actually picked the Raiders to win that game because offensively they were loaded. They had Rich Gannon, they had Jerry Rice, they had Tim Brown, and they got smoked by Tampa Bay. I know I'm not running the trivia, guys.
Gruden was the coach that year, right?
Gruden won that Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's players. Yes, that was his.
Right.
So here's the trivia I have for you guys. Do you guys remember who the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Bucks was that year?
No, I don't. Don't ask me ever again, because I really don't know.
Jack, do you have any idea?
Didn't you say Dexter Jackson?
No, Dexter Jackson
That
was
the guy who
he was
picked
the
5 times.
Yeah, he was the cornerback for the Bucks or I think he was the safety actually. No, he was the safety. He was the safety that was completely destroying Gannon.
I got no clue who the quarterback was.
Because he's a bum. I actually have him as my top 3 in terms of Super Bowl quarterbacks that were just complete trash. Trent Dilfer for the Baltimore Ravens to me is the worst quarterback to win a Super Bowl. But Brad Johnson was the quarterback for the Buccaneers that got a Super Bowl. Yeah, because he's a scrub. Anyway, sorry, Gil, go ahead. I didn't mean to hijack.
Gannon was also sacked 5 times that game.
Yeah, no, the Buccaneers killed him.
That line didn't help whatsoever.
Speaking of sacks, which player had the most sacks in a single Super Bowl? Was it Von Miller, 2016, Darnell Dockett in 2009, or Grady Jarrett in 2017?
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, Grady Jarrett.
For the Falcons.
Right, okay. For some reason I was thinking of...
Yeah, it's because you forgot about that Super Bowl.
Miles.
Yeah, as he forgets about most Super Bowls.
I'm going to go with Grady Jarrett. I'm going to go with Grady Jarrett. I'm going to be a homer.
Alright, so Nick said Von Miller, Jack said Grady Jarrett. Carlos, final answer?
I'm torn because Von Miller was the first name that came to mind because like the Bucs destroying the Raiders, the Broncos decimated the Panthers. I just remember Cam Newton on his back like almost all game. Jeez, but Grady did have a good game too. Maybe it's
people forget that the Falcons did play well that first.
They had a decent defense. That's the reason why they got to the Super Bowl. But Elway still put that game away. Well, it was really more like it was really Terrell Davis, but it might be recency bias just because he's in a Super Bowl now, and I just that Panthers and Broncos game is fresh in my head. Give me Von Miller. I'll go with Nick.
Jack, you said Grady Jarrett?
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in Carlos and Nick right now.
Wow, it was Grady. Okay.
Let me be very clear. This was a 2. You could have gotten this right twice. Darnell Dockett and Grady Jarrett were tied for 3, and you guys picked Von Miller at 2.5.
Oh my
Wow.
God!
Oh, it's a half sack. Come on.
Are you saying
You
that,
won
like,
the MVP that year. for
we
the
could have
Super
said
Bowl.
two
Come
different
on.
ones, and we could have.
You could have said Darnold Dockett or Grady Jarrett.
Oh, that's
and gotten
great.
it right.
go.
But
That's
y'all
great.
picked Von Miller and got it wrong.
Let's go.
I'm disappointed. Okay. Last multiple choice question. If Jack gets this wrong and Carlos gets this right, we head into the tiebreaker. Which of the following coaches has more Super Bowl appearances?
Oh.
Is it Andy Reid, Bill Cowher, or Chuck Noll?
I'm
So-
like, sorry,
And
you're gonna have.
so
gonna
Andy
have to go
Reid
through.
got 2 with the Chiefs, 1 with Philadelphia, or no? No, yeah, he only got 1 with Philadelphia. So that's
Give
3.
me Chuck No. Give me Chuck.
Yeah, because Chuck Noll won 4. That much I know because he was Terry Brashaw's coach.
So wait, what? Who were the options? Chuck
Andy
Noll.
Reid, Bill Cowher, and Chuck Noll.
And Bill Cowher won. He won 1 or 2. Because I don't remember him winning multiple like that.
Oh, I just swore.
am I just
again.
going
Hey, I'm not editing this one, right? So you can go ahead and
So Andy Reid has definitely been in 2, I think, right?
Andy Reid's been in 3. Because he wasn't with that one in Philadelphia, and he had 2 with the Chiefs.
Yeah, the only one that he wasn't in, that was Doug Peterson's team.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Chuck Noll also.
So Chuck Noll from Carlos. Nick?
No, I was Chuck No first. Yeah.
Chuck Noll, yeah. Okay. And Jack?
Well, see, here's the thing. If I go with Chuck Noll, I win, right? So.
I mean, I don't know.
Do you want to go that way though?
I'm not going to tell you that now.
No, I'm telling you. Even if we all get it wrong, I win. So I'm ahead of Carlos by 1. So I'm going Chuck Noll.
It was Chuck Noll.
Of course it was.
It was Chuck Noll. Chuck Noll
There's no
had
point
4.
in hedging
Carlos
there.
said it on the dot. Carlos gave away everything that Jack needed to hear.
That's the
Carlos
thing.
said-
He did all my research.
Yeah, Carlos did all the research here. Chuck Noll had 4. Bill Cowher 2. Andy Reid 3.
Okay.
If anybody wants the bonus, it's
Yeah.
a free response.
I need the bonus so I can get over on Jack here.
Sabonis.
All right. Yeah.
DeMontis a bonus.
No, the bonus was if we tied. Okay. Okay.
Because this question's worth like plus 10.
Out. It's Super Bowl weekend. All right, go crazy. Who was the special guest in Bruno Mars' Super Bowl halftime performance in 2014? No multiple choice on this.
Oh, LMFAO.
Nope.
Oh, I was so
Nope.
confident.
I know who was there, so I'm not gonna say anything because number 1, I love this artist, and 2, I want Jack to get it wrong.
No, I think I know who it is. So wait, how are we gonna do this though? Because I think I know who it is because this was the first Super Bowl I watched because it was the year before I came out to the US, and I remember staying up till 4 a.m. in the morning.
How do I DM Jack or not? I'm sorry, DM Gil. Just give him my answer. That's what we're gonna do.
Text me. My phone's right here.
Yeah, I'm texting you right now, girl.
All right, both of y'all text me.
Damn, the suspense is killing me.
This is
I
gonna be
think I
very
know
funny.
what it is. Because if
I will
it is
say-
who I think it is,
I got
then
Carlos's
I've-
answer.
I've seen these guys live, and they're
All
one of
right.
my favorite bands.
If you're right, I'm gonna be so fucking. Oh my god! Both of y'all got it right. It was the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
First of all, we got to put
Oh my god!
I think we're burying the lead here. That Jack and I both love the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love
Chili Peppers,
Red
yeah.
Hot Chili Peppers.
When they came out, I was right. I
I
was
watched
so
them
right.
live in 2016. I watched them live. I went to a concert, watched them live in Canada in
I'm
Montreal.
so jealous. I love them.
It's a concert in
good.
August. Let's all go, guys. Let's
Yo,
all go.
on God.
Hey, I'm good for it. I'll totally do it.
Let's do it.
I might be seeing Foo Fighters this summer too, so that's gonna be fun.
Ooh,
Nice.
shit.
Oh man.
That was
So
good.
that said, Mr. Hopkins wins.
Boo.
Surprisingly, I didn't think he would get it. I'm really
didn't
surprised.
either. Yeah, but a
No.
couple of those were guesses, mine. Like the Madonna was a guess.
That was a
Chuck
Hail Mary.
Noll, I
That
had
was
no
a Hail
idea.
Mary.
Chuck Noll,
The
I had no idea. Rich Gannon, I had no
The
idea.
Superdome.
So
the
so
Superdome
the, so
one
the
was
true
shocking
winner is
one.
me because I fed all the information.
Yeah,
No,
you
I'm not-
kind of did this too. This is
actually,
the consequences of
yeah.
your own actions, Carlos.
No. Actually, if you remember, I said Superdome first. I had no idea.
You did.
He
but
did.
You, yeah, but you Hail Mary that one. I didn't think you'd get
it
it.
I mean, I'm just guessing at this point.
Oh, that was funny. That was a good one. That was a good one. So, God damn it.
Oh,
Nick
God.
was the one when Nick wasn't copying everyone's answers. He got all of them wrong. He did get James White. He got James White, and he did do which one did he say first? Was it was the Knoll.
He said Chuck.
Knoll.
He said Chuck Knoll first. Yeah.
He did say Chuck Knoll first. That was
yeah,
well
Chuck
done.
Knoll was
Everything
Carlos.
else.
He
Chuck
listened
Knoll
to
was
Carlos.
definitely a Hail Mary.
Calm it all down.
Oh, that was too funny. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening to this Super Bowl edition of the Four Horsemen of Fantasy. Please give us a follow on Instagram, the number 4 Horsemen of Fantasy, and give us a sub on YouTube as well, because we do enjoy all of our precious followers. We'll be back talking about the league, the association, that is, next week. But until then, have a great weekend, place your bets, and win some money. See you later. Goodbye.
Montrezl Harrell to Charlotte Hornets.
God damn it, Jack. Let the